Hi, I'm Annie with Bright Star Massage. I offer barefoot massage in Eugene, Oregon, and I also offer virtual video coaching across several time zones. You can check out my website and contact info in the description. Today, I want to talk about a fun new mood boosting activity that I've been doing lately. I want to tell you all about my Kangoo jumps. These were kind of an impulse buy. I've had them for about 4 weeks now and they are super fun. So I'm going to give you kind of a basic review, first impressions of the boots, and then I'm going to talk about some deeper reasons why I enjoy these so much. So here's the boot. As you can see, it has this kind of springing mechanism here. Some of the parts are replaceable, like you can replace the treads and you can replace these band things that go in the middle. From what I understand in my research, those things don't need to be replaced very often, but they can be replaced if they need to be. And there are these buckles on the side, so you can use these to loosen and tighten the boot. I like them just right, so not too tight and not too loose. There's this liner inside each one. It's like a neoprene kind of liner that you can wash or air it out between uses if you want to. And it's kind of adjustable. It sort of like folds and adjusts to the size of your feet. The sizing on these boots is pretty general. Like it'll be a range. Mine are size small, and so I think that's women like size 5 to 7.5 or something like that. Don't quote me on that. I typically wear a 7 or a 7.5, so I figured it would work, and I haven't had any issues with the fit or blistering. I can adjust them well enough that they fit really nicely, and there's no slipping and no blistering. There was no sort of breaking in period of any kind. I'm very careful about my feet because I'm a barefoot massage therapist. I actually use my feet to massage people, so I can't allow anything bad to happen to my feet. But I actually haven't had any issues. The fit of the boot is fine. And I find them comfortable enough that I don't really think about them. Once I'm doing the activity, it's just fun. I'm not thinking about what the boot feels like on my foot. I should mention that I made a mistake when I was ordering them. I got the KJ Pro 7, and this boot is actually rated for intense activity, like extreme athletes or people that weigh over 200 pounds. I'm only 5 feet tall, so I'm 115 right now, which is actually heavy for me. When I'm like at a racing weight or really, really lean, I tend to weigh about 105. So that was my mistake. And I was actually reading the descriptions, but I think somehow I just got confused. It is a little bit confusing when you go to buy these boots. And I might even recommend like doing much more research than what I did. Like I said, it was an impulse purchase, or maybe even call someone and talk to someone on the phone to make sure you're getting the right thing. I just made a mistake. It was a stupid error, but I still love them. I mean, it hasn't been a huge deal. So I think that because these are rated for people that are 200 pounds or more, they just are a bit more reinforced. And so the responsiveness probably isn't as much as the boots that are rated for lighter people. I've also noticed in my research that enthusiasts of these jumping boots sometimes prefer the other brand, which is called Bounce Boots, because they say that they're just in general more responsive. I love jumping so much that I would definitely consider buying the other brand, or maybe just buying the ones that are, rated for my correct weight to compare and see if it really makes a difference to me. But I find this activity to be so much fun that I don't mind that I got the wrong ones. I didn't even notice that I got the wrong ones until like 3 weeks after I got them. Yeah, it was a stupid mistake, but whatever. I'm still having a really good time. So what I do notice is that when I'm bouncing with one foot, the responsiveness is really good. When I bounce with both feet, hardly anything happens because I don't weigh very much. So I don't really do like the double-footed bouncing in these boots, but I still have a lot of fun alternating from, right and left foot bouncing. So these boots can be used for jogging, like just jogging down a running path. But right now I'm really just enjoying jumping and dancing around. So I put on some really good tunes and I just really go for it and dance around and just feel good and enjoy the exhilaration of jumping. It is a really good workout. The way that my heart rate responds is similar to a tempo run. So I'll go up to like 165 heart rate and it's a really intense workout. I think that's partially due to the fact that I've lost a lot of fitness. I think as I acclimate to these, my heart rate will, probably stay closer to 130 beats per minute on, a typical dance session. So because this is a jumping activity, it qualifies as a plyometric exercise, right? It's really explosive. So you're jumping up and you're using all those muscles, but you're also using the muscles when you decelerate. In order to decelerate, it activates different muscles. Each boot is 4.4 pounds with this. That's what my scale says anyway. So that adds to the intensity of the exercise. If I bring my knee up to my shoulder, it really engages my oblique muscle. And that activity would probably engage my oblique muscle if I was barefoot, but with the boot on, it's like added intensity because you're lifting that weight. I think that because, like I said, I bought the wrong model, these are reinforced, and that probably makes them heavier because I've heard other people say that their boots weigh about 3 pounds. So it could be that the ones that are rated for lighter people weigh less. So doing this feels like a full body exercise to me. I wave my arms around a lot, which tones them a little bit. I feel all kinds of muscles all over my body are sore, and I'm sleeping really well after doing this intense exercise. Another thing it's important to be aware of when you go out jumping in these boots, if you go out into public, people will stare. So if that makes you uncomfortable in any way, that might factor into your decision about whether or not you want to get these boots. Of course, if you have an indoor space where you can do this privately, that's fine too. There's an elementary school parking lot over here that I really love to jump in. And what I have noticed is that people are driving down the street and they see me and they just quickly pull into the parking lot and park and just stare at me. And so if that's something that you would not be comfortable with, you might want to consider that because it just is a spectacle. A lot of people haven't seen these before. It looks weird. It looks funny, crazy, fun. It doesn't really bother me when people do that, but I do turn away. So I turn away so that they can stare at me freely as much as they want. I guess I'm more concerned. I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable that they are staring at me. So if they want to stare because they're curious, I'm okay with that, but I don't want to make it weird. So I just turn away and just, go about my business, keep enjoying my songs and dancing around. I do often have the thought that it's a positive thing to see a fully grown adult jumping around and having fun. I'm 44 years old and I'm jumping around like a crazy teenager and having a good time. And I think that that is a really positive behavior to model. And I often think that maybe those people that are staring at me are thinking, wow, that looks fun. I want to have fun. Maybe when I go home, I'll strap on my roller skates and skate around, or, just remember that play is fun and play is good for you. And that brings me to some of the deeper reasons that I love these boots. In the past few years, I've been focused on taking full responsibility for my mood. I'm trying to remember over and over again that happiness is a choice and it's my responsibility to have fun or be miserable. So I do a few things when difficult moods come up. One thing is working with the mood on kind of an intellectual level, sort of questioning my beliefs, questioning my thoughts and my judgments just in a rational way. You have a certain belief or judgment, and then you ask yourself, is that really true? Is there a different way to look at it? And so that's sort of on the level of the mind. But then I also work on mood from a somatic level, just focusing on what is happening inside my body on a physiological level. So every emotion that you have has a corresponding body chemical. There's brain chemicals that correspond to the different moods that you have. And you can actually change those chemicals by changing your activity, doing different exercises. So if I'm anxious, I might look to vagus nerve exercises or yoga or slow walking through nature. I'll just turn to relaxing physical activities that produce those relaxation chemicals to kind of calm me down and make me feel less anxious. And then if I'm feeling really sad or pessimistic, then I might try to get some endorphins and feel some joy. And so if I'm feeling sort of frustrated or pessimistic, I really like to dance it out. And I've been doing that for a while. Strapping on these boots is like dancing it out times 10. It just kind of amplifies the whole experience. And I really do get that runner's high kind of feeling. It's just some serious joy chemicals going through my body. So if I'm in a place where I could really use a shift to shift out of a darker mood, then I might decide to strap on these boots and jump for a little while. So So the goal is to absolutely feel the emotions completely and listen to what they're trying to tell me, but not get stuck in them, not get stuck in the grip of the emotion. But remember that I have a choice and I can jump for joy and kind of shift out of that emotion. And of course, you don't need these crazy expensive boots in order to do that. You can just dance it out. I just find that this is really fun. It kind of amplifies that feeling of elation, and it also helps me reach my goal of getting some of my cardio conditioning back. If you're curious about these boots, I'll put a link to where you can find Kangoo jumps, and then there's this other brand called Bounce Boots. And then also if you Google just like rebound boots, you'll find some different things. I do find that it's a little bit confusing. So purchasing something like this does require quite a bit of research, and I probably should have done more research before I bought the ones that I bought, but I'm happy with them anyway. I'm having a really good time. So that's what I've been up to lately. I hope y'all are doing well, and I'll talk to you next time.